This is the Healing Our Sight podcast, where we discuss vision issues and healing strategies from the patient perspective. The goal of this podcast is to create an awareness of the diverse types of vision issues people experience, to highlight the types of help available, and to open a dialogue between patients to show we're not alone in our vision struggles. As a patient who gained 3D vision at age 54 through vision therapy combined with strabismus surgery, I feel uniquely qualified to offer a hopeful, balanced perspective on the possibilities. Please use the link in the show notes to send me a message, and thanks for joining me today. Welcome to the Healing Our Sight podcast. I'm your host, Denise Allen, and today my guest is Brady Holt. He is someone that I found through my doctor. I went in for my checkup last month, and I said, Dr. Davies, who's a great success story that I can highlight on my podcast? And he said, oh, you should talk to Brady Holt. He loves sharing his story. And I said, awesome. And so I found Brady. I found out that he works around the corner from where I live. And so we met the other day. Brady was a victim of a horrific car accident in 2016, March 14th, 2016. He was a freshman playing football at Utah State University and was involved in a terrible car accident where he was ejected from the front window going 75 miles an hour, traveling on I-15, and wasn't supposed to survive. He was given a 15% chance to live. He broke his back in 6 places, was in a coma for 3 months, and wasn't expected to live. Then he wasn't expected to be able to live on his own, and he's defied all of the odds. It's now been 9 years, and we're gonna talk about all that progress and how he ended up in vision therapy and what the result was of that. So, welcome, Brady.
Thanks, Denise. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you on today. Tell us a little bit about that whole experience at the very beginning. What was going on with you?
So I was a freshman up at Utah State playing football as a walk-on. And out of 300 kids that tried out, Coach Wells only kept 3 of us. And so I had the blessing of playing Division I football, which is astronomical how hard it is. And having the dream and having the goal of playing college football was always been my dream. Minus the fact that I'm 6'7", and so that's the one thing that the coaches loves is they could pack on the weight and I'd be a freaking animal. So I got done with the spring semester and I got called into Coach Wells' office and he goes, bring your playbook in. And I'm like, oh no, he's cut me. I've had a crappy spring ball. Like it's been bad. So we go into his office. 2 hours later, he goes, Brady, you brought your playbook, right? I'm like, yeah, coach, here it is. And so I handed him over my playbook, the defensive playbook, and he goes, here, Brady, here's the offensive playbook. I'm like, what is this? He goes, Brady, you're gonna be one of our starting tight ends. I'm like, no way, that's crazy. And he goes, yeah, all of the coaching staff knew that you played tight end in high school and you're big and you're an animal on defense, you're probably really good on offense. And then I was actually going back up there to move out of my apartment and just student housing just so I could get some summer classes done and then keeping in touch with the football team. And I was driving up to Logan to move out of my house to live in the student housing. And I told my mom that morning, like, Mom, I'll text you when I get there. I'll call you when I get there just to be safe. Because me being your oldest child, I had the responsibilities of being a good role model for my siblings. And that was one thing that I pride myself on being. And so I was ejected from my car going 75. by Willard Bay, and my mom got a phone call, and she picks up the phone. She's like, "Hey, bud, what's up?" And she's like, "Hey, ma'am, this is Officer So and So. Your son Brady was just in a terrific car accident. And you should probably get here now. We don't know if he's gonna live or not." And so my mom and dad drove up to Willard Bay by Brigham City, and they got there, and they ended up going to Ogden Regional. That's where I was transported to, from Willard Bay to Ogden Regional. And that's where they lived for the next 3 months. And then I got sent down to Country Life Care Center, which is on Bangerter and Redwood Road, the conjunction of Redwood and Bangerter.
Mhm.
And they have a care center right there. And it's like, okay, it's closer to home. And then my mom and dad said if he's gonna pass, we want him closer to family so they can all come say goodbye. And what turned out to be a month to 2 months ended up 3 months in the care center. I was fighting the urge to, I couldn't walk. And so I was just arguing with everybody, arguing with all the people that wanted to help me. And I was just like so frustrated. And then one thing led to another, and I got discharged back to IMC Murray for a month of just nonstop therapy, which was intense. It was so hard. And then I got dismissed the day before Thanksgiving in 2016.
Mhm.
And I was doing all that I could do to try and help my family and stuff, even though I couldn't do a lot of things. I was just driven to help them, help my family from what they had to go through the past year. And so the winter rolls around and then the spring rolls around, and I'm like, I can start helping out, doing stuff around the house. And I was hobbling around the house, and I got comfortable enough that I was starting to mow the lawn, and I was out mowing the lawn one Saturday, and I was like, Mom, Mom, I can't see. I cannot see things straight. And my mom was like, Brady, stop. Stop right now. We'll get your brother to finish this. I'm like, whatever. I was like, I seriously can't. I cannot see straight. My mom, in a roundabout way, found out the Utah Vision Therapy Center, and I started going there once, twice a week for like a year and a half, and then I got to know everyone there so well. Like, yeah,
So, what did the therapy look like initially when you went in for vision therapy?
okay, it was so frustrating because it's like I'm understanding. I know what I can do, but I can't physically do it. I
Mm.
was so frustrated with it all, but like I couldn't see things the way that most people see things, and I was like, "This is garbage. I cannot stand this. This is terrible." And then, yeah,
So, the symptoms that you had were from the traumatic brain injury from the car accident, right?
I broke my back in 6 places, and so do you ever think of like shaken baby syndrome? But I'm not a baby. I'm a pretty big baby. You get shaken baby syndrome, so it's basically the same thing. I have a frontal cortex injury, so it's my brain, there's the rods that connect the brain to hold it in place, and it's all, but going through the car accident is all shaken up.
Mhm.
And so they all had to like reconnect and try to reconnect it all, which was crazy. Like I didn't think that that would happen, but it happened.
Yeah.
It took so long to finally get it to happen, but it is what it is.
So, the symptoms included not just the fact that you figured out you couldn't see straight because you were mowing the lawn, and I'm assuming you weren't able to do it in a straight line the way you expected to. Is that what was going on?
Yeah, yeah. I was at the point where I could just blame it on my little brother. 'Cause my little brother would beat Mohawks. And I could leave it for his excuse. Blame him that he did it. I could get away with it. But yeah,
Okay. And then also you said you had headaches and
yeah.
some other symptoms, initially?
Yeah, and I remember starting to go to vision therapy, and I was just like, I don't know why my head's hurting, but then it's like it got to a point where I was like, I was having all these, I don't want to say problems, but a lot of these shortcomings that nobody would have ever thought that a young man would have to go through, but I had to go through it all.
Mhm. And so at vision therapy, they had you going through the regular exercises at therapy, and then
Yeah,
assuming they gave you some things to do at home as well.
that, yeah, I would never do it at home because I'm just too stubborn and too arrogant to them. Let them give me ideas of how to improve it. Like, no, I'm okay. I'm good enough doing what I do now. I'm okay.
Okay, so you
I'm
weren't
okay.
really doing the
I
therapy at
Yeah,
home is what
too
you're saying.
stubborn and too arrogant to.
Okay. So do you think you're
No, yeah, exactly. I wasn't doing the therapy at home, but
so you weren't really doing
mhm,
any of the exercises at home, but you were going a couple of times a week initially and then, once a week after that?
yeah,
Okay.
yep, once a week and then once every couple of weeks, and then yeah,
And then you just gradually, started going less often, and tell us a little bit about what your
yeah.
goal was through vision therapy.
So my one goal is to have us be able to drive again, to drive a car because I I was independent enough, but I couldn't get places. I couldn't go where I wanted to go. And
Mhm.
so that was my major goal was to drive a car again. And I was like, once I got to that point, I remember texting Jen, one of the therapists or vision therapy. I I sent her a picture of my graduating and I went on the road test and texted her and the lady goes, "Okay, you can start driving now." I'm like, what the heck? That's crazy. That is crazy. And so I had about a year between I got cleared to drive at night and then yeah, and I was like, I could only go like 45 and I couldn't go any faster or any slower drive at night. So I was like, this is terrible. This is so boring. Yeah. And so I waited about a year to go back and I went back and the lady was like, the PT, she was like, Freddie, so what brings you into this? It's been about a year. I'm like, yeah, it's been a year and I've been driving around and she goes, so why are you back? And I was like, I want to get good to drive on the freeway. She's like, all right, Brady, let's go. Like, what the heck? Really? What do you mean let's go? She goes, let's go to the garage and get my car and we're gonna go drive on the freeway. I'm like, what? Are you crazy? But I drove around downtown Salt Lake, which is a nightmare, let alone itself. Learning to drive again. No, I would not recommend it. But she goes, "Okay, Brady, you're clear. You're good to drive on the road. I'm on the freeway and stuff." I'm like, so do you tell me I can do this? I can do this. She goes, "Yeah, you're okay. You passed." I was like, "You passed all the all the tests that we have for this." I'm like, "That's crazy. That's insane." Yeah, it was just crazy. Like I never thought that I would get to that point, but here I am. And that was 3.5, almost 4 years ago.
Okay. So it took a few years after the accident in order for you to
Yeah,
get to that point, and a couple
yeah,
2 or was it 2 or 3 years of vision therapy?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So what would you like to share with people who are going through this kind of a brain injury, rehabilitation process?
One thing that I just want to say to people is even though it's hard, even though it sucks, you're gonna have to just buckle down and get it done. Because even though it's uncomfortable, that's how your body adapts to the circumstance. That's how your body adapts to change, learn to grow. That's the one thing that I realized is hard to realize that even though it's hard and it sucks and like you can't see yourself getting better, but look at down the road, you'll look back and be like, holy cow, that's how I was. That's what happened to me. Like, holy cow, I can't believe that. And so like I I actually got to a point where I was like I said, I was going to therapy up at the U or not U at the Mayo the Tosh over in Murray. And I was like in a wheelchair and I'm like, I I don't belong here. This is terrible. I shouldn't be here. I should just die. I should have died when my car accident happened. I should have just given up. Like I just want to take my own life and this is not the life I want to live in. This sucks. And the speech therapist I was working with, she's like, Brady, talk to my student. I have to run real quick. What the heck? Okay, whatever. So I was telling my story, this student getting their graduate program. I'm like, this is terrible. I don't want to be here. I should just die. I should kill myself and die. And then like 5 or so minutes later, the therapist walks in and she goes, Brady, come sit in my office. What the heck? This is terrible. And so I remember wheeling on in there in my wheelchair, wheeling on in there. And I was just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to live anymore. I just want to die. I literally just want to die. And about a year and a half, 2 years later, I I went there. It was like a Thursday or Wednesday, whatever day of the week it was. And I remember 'cause my mom worked at the mouth of Big Cottonwood Canyon or Little Cottonwood Canyon. She worked there, so she dropped me off there. And then our grandpa would come pick me up because I couldn't drive at that time. And I just remember getting down there and I walked in there and walking, and she goes, Freddie, do you realize what happened? What just happened? I'm like, I'm here. What? I'm here. She goes, and remember when you first got here? I'm like, yeah, I was in a wheelchair. She goes, and where's your wheelchair at? I'm like, nowhere to be found. I don't need no wheelchair. I'm not that handicapped. And she goes, and Brady, remember you wanted to take your life? And I'm like, yeah, that was an old me. I just have to thank God every day now. It's like, because God has given me another reason, another chance to get through this thing. And so it's like, even though it sucks and even though it's hard, you just have to thank God for the challenges and the hardships to get through these things.
Mhm.
And then I have a very firm belief that when the day comes and we meet our maker, it's like God's gonna go, how was your life? And you're gonna say, it was hard, but I become a better person because of it. And so thank you for putting me through this.
Mhm. And your life is much different than you thought it was gonna be when you were
Yeah,
gonna go back
think that.
and continue to
Yeah,
play Division I football.
yeah,
But clearly you're not that same guy.
exactly. Yeah, like I I jokingly say that my wife and I met online dating, and so I was like, my profile was I I almost died once asking about it. I'll tell you about it. So that opens so many doors. She goes a bit. So how did you almost this time? Like I literally almost died. I was just from a car going 75 on the freeway. And they go, "Well, congratulations. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is but a scratch." But yeah, and then my wife, we met online and then we went on a date and I was like, well, it's almost dying. I don't get scared of anything. So like, um, I have this grand idea. We're gonna go to dinner, go to a scary movie, and then she's gonna be also scared. I'll protect her. I'll protect her. And then Yeah. And so we left like 15 minutes left of the movie. I'm feeling this is bull crap. This is such a bad movie. Sorry for bringing you here. She goes, it was fun. I goes, I'm like, no, it was terrible. It was just such a bad movie. And then I was like, I'm sorry, and I hopefully you find a better man out there because I've had all these hard things and all these troubles, and like I don't think this is right for me. You and I, and she goes, oh, I don't think so. And then I was like, I'm gonna delete your number, and then 2 days later, I get a text from this number to like, hey Brady, how you doing? Who? And I was like, I jokingly said, new phone, who this? And she goes, Katie. I'm like, Katie, stop. Like, that. I was, right as that sent that, I'm like, the girl I just went on a date with, holy cow, she wanted to go on a second date. Like, yeah. And it's like, you just like, you can't give up. And then with everything, like all the shortcomings and all the hard things that go on, you just have to get up and just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward because you'll never know what your meaning in life is till you actually get to that point. But you just have to just keep on, keep going forward, inch by inch.
Yeah. So, how long have you been married now?
So in a couple weeks, they'll be married for 5 years.
Okay. So when you got married, that was a little bit before you started driving?
Yeah, it was like we were married for like 2.5 years, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and then I was like, I need to start driving. I need to start driving, and so my mom ended up buying. She bought a car, and then her car that she had before was her mom car, and we jokingly said that my mom said, "Katie, you need a mom car. You need a car for your for whenever it gets here, you can have family. You need a car to carry around your kids." And I was like, "What are you saying? What are you saying, Grandma? What are you trying to say, Mom? You want grandkids? What you're saying?" But yeah, and so we have just the one right now, and it's like you don't really know the love the love that God has for you till you have your own family, the young kids. It's like I would do anything to protect my daughter. I would do anything. I
Yeah,
would, yeah.
awesome. Well, I think your story is so inspiring, and I hope that, those who listen to this podcast kinda get a little bit of a vision for what's
Knock on wood.
possible. What's possible when you are
Yeah,
persistent and you have a firm goal, which for you was being able to drive and have that, independence that you had been lacking for so long after your
yeah,
injury.
uh-huh,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Did you want to give any last words of wisdom before we wrap this up today?
Uh, I'm just gonna say, Denise, like God, like it's hard and life sucks, but you just have to keep moving forward inch by inch, day by day till we're finished because
Mhm.
you'll never realize that like and the time you think it'll be the hardest thing you're going through, but once you look back, like 5 years down the road, you look back like, what the heck? Why did I think that was hard? That was easy compared to what I've had to go through now. But you never realize, you never, yeah. It's like, that's the one thing that I'm very firm believer is like, you'll be able to learn and grow from your hardships. And that's the way that we become better in life. Learning from our hardships and learning from our trials that we're going to be able to learn and grow. That we just have to keep on, as Matthew McConaughey says, just keep on keeping on.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you for listening to the Healing Our Sight podcast. I'd love to hear from you. Please share and also join our Facebook community at Healing Our Sight to leave suggestions or comments. Have a great day.